one of the key debates that we hear when we see anybody trying to use blockchain for, let's say, payments or intercountry interest rate, that what different are they doing? So one of the key things that Cast is doing is, of course, it is utilizing, leveraging stablecoin rails. Now, if in case, let's say, we were to understand it in layman terms, how does it benefit us over an existing, let's say, banking network like Swift? Building,
Well, I
which is
mean, Swift, it's you can bring in money through like instant payment rails, ACH, SEPA in Europe and others, and you get your money on our platform instantly. But when you want to send it across the world, if you go via Swift, it's going to take you between 1 to 3 days versus near instant with us, right? And so like on blockchain, you use Solana or Tron or, one of the L2s, it's near instant and near free. It's just so much quicker. So I think it's quite obvious. It's just the usability hasn't been great for the average person. So that's what we're trying to fix.
Hello everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Voice of Web3 powered by CoinGape Media. We are here today again with a very special guest, and you all have been requesting us to bring an expert who knows about stable coins, who knows that what is going on Wall Street in terms of this huge adoption wave we are seeing. So today, guys, we have with us Raagulan Patthy. You must have heard about him, or you must have res- read about him from his past days at Circle. He is the founder and CEO of KAST, which is a premier crypto card platform and stablecoin neobank. And right now, it is completely reshaping the global finance. And to add cherry on the top, KAST has also raised more than $80 million dollars. Recently, they raised 80 million in their Series A, and they already have more than half a million users. So, guys, KAST is right now a very big deal, and we are so honored to have him today as our guest. Uh, we are going to call him Rex, as everybody calls him. Rex, how are you? Welcome to the podcast.
No, I'm great. Thanks. It's great to be here.
So, Rex, I mean, a lot of things are happening in crypto, and right now, the adoption on Wall Street, the adoption on mainstream use cases is the buzz of the town. But before we dive into that, what Cast is and what how Cast is doing, our audience and as well as we are very curious to know that. I mean, how did Cast start, and what were your reasons? Because you were in a very cozy job, I must say. I mean, it's a dream job to work at Circle for everybody. I know that. I mean, why did you leave Circle, and what motivated you to start with Cast?
Yeah, it was a great job. Circle's a great company. So I set up and ran Circle's Asia business for over a 2.5 year period. But what I really saw was that stablecoins had broken out from being something used for crypto trading to something that was used for payments and banking / fintech like services. At the same time, there wasn't a great platform for people to actually do that. They had to go to an exchange, they had to use a wallet. They didn't really have a platform that matched the future potential of stablecoins. So I just thought, like, what's the biggest TAM opportunity that we had? And that was to really go and build a global fintech on top of the stablecoin layer, which was a mix of stablecoins as well as fiat rails as well, all in one. And I felt that was a $100 billion plus opportunity to go after. And so that's why that motivated me to quit and go down the deep end and the hard end of building a startup.
Yeah, I can understand. It must have been a very difficult decision for you. But so, Rex, I mean, you talked about how big the TAM is, how big the opportunity is. How big is really crypto cards and stablecoin payments market today? I mean, we do see a lot of companies working based out of Latin America. Are there any other markets also globally that you are seeing as a big opportunity in the coming days?
I think it's pretty much everywhere in the world, to be honest with you. Our business is pretty well split. I think 50% is the Americas, which is the US and Latin America. And then the other 50% is a combination of Europe, the Middle East, and Asia as well. Africa is only a small part of our business right now. But yeah, it's significantly spread. There's no like single place where it's concentrated. And I think that speaks to the global movement of money as well, that people are in Asia working for companies in the Americas, or sometimes the other way around, and there's no, it's not like money's in a single place. The internet is global. Companies are being built global. People are working global, and they need a new type of fintech that's built for them.
So when we hear about crypto cards, we hear these names like Gemini, we hear names like crypto.com. When we talk about stable coins, we hear about Tether, we hear about Circle. So what does Cast bring to the table? I mean, if somebody today is trying to, let's say, compare different opportunities, what does Cast bring to the table that others are not bringing, and how is Cast different?
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at companies like Tether and Circle, they're really building the base infrastructure layer of stablecoins and things associated with that. And then when you go and look at traditional crypto companies like crypto.com or others, they're really from that first wave of more crypto exchange style products. I think what differentiates us is that we're built specifically for this neobanking use case, which is much more closely related to much more like a fintech or etc. Right? So it's different. It's a different approach. We're focused on how we make money move for people as opposed to for trading.
So it's not just cards and stable coins, right? I mean, when you say neobank, I guess you can use it for your normal banking services as well.
Exactly. You can move money across 200 countries with Swift with us. You can use local payment rails. You can save with us. Soon you'll be able to have wealth products with us and even credit in the not too distant future as well.
Awesome, awesome. So, I mean, when we talk about crypto, we of course talk about global trades. We talk about remittance, which is a very big market. So, what are some of the areas where you are seeing, let's say, huge adoption when it comes to Cast? Because I know Cast already has more than half a million subscribers, and you have raised a very big series around as well. So, what are those first early, let's say, adoption areas where you see that things are really getting exponential?
I think the demand for an alternate globally first fintech is just extraordinary. I think more than 100 million people need it today. It will be more than 1 billion people in time to come. So I see like no limit on the demand for a product like us. I think what's different is that like the current banks are definitely not keeping up. And even the fintechs that are doing well were built, 10 years ago. So they were built in a different time. And they're great, but they're maybe not keeping up with the global nature of the world today, the internet today, and just what users are looking for a mix of traditional fiat rails and traditional bank accounts, along with stablecoins and crypto as well.
So, Rex, of course, Latin America still remains to be one of the outliers when it comes to transactions and adoption in terms of crypto cards and stablecoin payments. What are some of those factors which you personally believe are actually leading to this explosive growth in Latin America, and maybe other countries in the world are actually, left behind? Do you see some particular indicators that, okay, this is what is leading to this massive growth here, while others are just catching up?
No, I mean, look, I think that banking is broken in the majority of countries, right? And that's no secret. It doesn't take you don't need to do a customer survey to figure that out. And in a lot of countries where they have fintechs and they have better solutions, often they're not global enough and there's still some friction, right? And that leaves us like a massive space for someone to go and build a better product that suits what people want. If you're a remote worker, if you're living in countries where you want stablecoins or you interact with stablecoins to move money around on a daily basis, if you're a solopreneur or a small business selling goods on the internet, or if you're crypto native and you're trading, like all these people need a new type of neobank.
So you did a very, I would say, popular experiment, which later on became quite a hype on social media. It was your integration with Pudgy Penguins and you releasing a stable coin card with them. What was it all? What was that all about?
Well, I mean, like we view like Pudgy Penguins as having one of the best communities, really,
Yeah, it
in
is.
crypto. I mean, it's so cute to start off with, and so why could you not love it? But also, I think they build community better than any meme coin community or potentially anyone in crypto. So for us, we always viewed them as a top-notch brand, and I think they viewed us in a similar way. And so, yeah, we worked hard for about a year to bring that partnership together, and we're super excited to now launch the range of Pudgy Penguins cards, and they've been a hit. I think people love them. People love using them, and makes them, very brand. I think the two brands just go together so well.
It's cute. It's cute. I can vouch for that. It's cute. And the way they have actually expanded the community in the last 2 3 years, I mean, it's remarkable. The way they have overhauled everything and came back to picture. But amazing. I mean, it was quite a good experiment, and even I'm sure that you must have given a taste of how this new fintech is working to the NFT holders as well, to the native crypto players as well.
Yeah.
So coming back to the main, the offerings that actually Cast is making to the audience. I mean, is it only about right now USDT and USDC, or are you planning to launch your own stable coins also in the coming future? How is the stablecoin economy going to look on Cast, let's say, in the coming days?
Yeah, I mean, we've already launched USDK, which is our own stablecoin, but we're not pushing it so hard to compete against the other stablecoins. But we view a world, especially in the neobanks, where people will bring USDC, USDT, and other stablecoins, and they want to have. They don't really care. People want to bring it on multiple chains. Sometimes they want to bring fiat, but they just want a dollar as a dollar. And so when money sits in the middle with us, it will be sitting in our own stablecoin, USDK. Eventually, we may open the loop so that people can send it and it can become a stablecoin by itself. But for now, we just focus on it being the stablecoin underpinning our platform.
So is Cast available globally today, or are there some countries where, for example, I'm right now in UAE? Can I just go ahead and make an account? Is it available in UAE?
We're available in 150 plus countries, including the UAE at the moment. So yeah, but we don't support every single country. Some regulations don't allow us to support them yet. But yes, we support people in a lot of countries.
So, of course, the stable coins is a big market. Almost every country in the world is trying to make their regulations, adjust their regulations. And regulation is so key part of this whole adoption phase because it will provide more and more businesses the required guidelines and rules to work around. What are some of those markets you see which are still, let's say, undervalued? For example, maybe Southeast Asia or maybe, let's say, Middle East. What are some of those, maybe Africa even? So what are those some of the markets which you see in the next 5 years, which will actually explode when it comes to stable coin particularly and crypto cards, which maybe people are not looking at right now?
So firstly, I think the obvious ones, if I tell you, are obviously LATAM, Middle East, and Asia, and South Asia, and Southeast Asia. But I think what people are missing is just how popular crypto and stablecoins are in developed countries. I think across Europe and the US, because people just presume that banking works. There's no remittance problem, etc. But even in these countries, they have a much higher GDP per capita, and they're realizing that actually stablecoins are a better way to move money than even the banking rails they have today. So I think that's actually the underestimated thing, that people presuming that stablecoins are for developing countries, but actually they're getting used a lot in developed countries.
That's actually a very good point. I mean, nobody looks in a vice versa fashion there. But you rightly said that maybe the countries where the banking is broken, actually, banking is there, but it's broken. I mean, last few days, I mean, I was still trying to make some payments, and for some reason, the banking system is still not catching up. I mean, they have got enough warnings from entrepreneurs like you, but I am sure that they are still not trying to improve upon it. And still today, it's still taking around 3 to 4 days to make small transactions. Uh, Somebody made a Revolut transaction to me from US 3 days back, and it is showing I am going to receive that payment in UAE after 7 days. Actually, I have to wait for 7 days to receive my payment. I'm sure that apps like CAP, apps like yours can actually solve those problems, in the coming days. Coming to the question, right? Again, the big question again around regulations. Uh, I mean, a lot of debate in US, and as history tells us that whatever happens in US, it's actually followed by other countries as well. It's quite natural for them to actually follow it. So, how do you see this Clarity Act debate going on right now? I really want to know your views around it. Do you really think it matters? Do you really think it will lead to some changes which will further, to provide a way for the entrepreneurs to do these things.
Look, I think right now clarity is like nearly completed. There is going to be some tweaks and some debates, but I think the most important thing is the regulation comes into force as soon as possible. Once it's there, like with all regulations, they're always not perfect, and there's updates that can happen to the regulation over time. But I think the most important thing right now is that we do get that regulation into place. Yeah. On the more broad spectrum, we aim to become the most licensed stablecoin company in the world. And so we're seeking through applying as well as acquisitions licenses across the world.
Yeah. So, yes, I mean, in the last episode, we were actually discussing this with some of the entrepreneurs, more native crypto guys like Charlie Lee from Litecoin and some people from Sharply. And they were of the opinion that let's first get something there. Let's get a legislature there first. And maybe from there on, we can all, start debating. But first step is to get something in the form of rules and regulations that entrepreneurs can follow.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So you recently raised a very big round, around 60 million USD. And everybody right now is just thinking that what next goals are there, what business goals are in chasing. I mean, what kind of new goals, new opportunities Kast is trying to, kind of materialize and make it real.
Yeah, I mean, we recently raised an $80 million Series A. I think we'll extend by, I think over the next 12 months, we'll raise another $200 to $300 million.
Sorry to interrupt. This was at what valuation?
We don't publicly disclose it, but you can go on.
Okay. I couldn't find it actually. That's why I asked you.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, look, our recent valuations, put us at more than $1 billion company.
Wow.
So, yeah. So look, I think the main thing is that we've raised 80 million, but I think it's a step towards raising 200 to 300 million over the next year or so. I think in fullness over the next 2-3 years, we may have to raise between 500 million to $1 billion, because we're in a full race right now to become the biggest and fastest growing neobank. I think a lot of people are going after that space. I think it's going to become capital intensive. I think the intensity of the war is going to be the winner in the space is going to start moving faster and faster. And so, yeah, it's a battleground now to win. And there's a few people that are emerging as the clear winners. But even amongst those 5 or 6, I think it'll still, 1 or 2 will start winning even more, and they'll become the real winners. Yeah.
So, I mean, Kast already has done a tremendous job when it comes to adoption, and I'm sure that you are seeing more and more growth as the days are progressing. But as I asked you that, are there any specific areas which you want to dominate or you want to, let's say, be aggressive about in the next 2 to 3 years? Of course, now you have backing as well.
No, I think for us, we want to be the biggest consumer bank built on stablecoins, a consumer neobank built on stablecoins. But we also want to be the biggest business neobank built on stablecoins as well. And we see like around 25 to 30% of our users are building on top of 25-30% are using it for business use cases anyway. So that's why we recently opened Kast for Business to sort of accelerate the adoption of Kast on the business side as well.
So I think there are now 2 versions of Kast. One is business and one is the private or the personal accounts, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you've got Kast, the entry level. You've got the premium version. You've got the private version, which is really for big spenders, and then we've got business as well.
So very big part of debate around, of course, the Clarity Act is the part where whether an issuer can actually provide a certain interest on these stable coins or not to back to the consumers. I think situation with you is quite clear. I guess if I today deposit certain USDT in Kast app, then I guess I will be getting that usual savings interest.
At the moment, we don't pay it. We do have a vault through which you can put in other things, but we don't pay interest on the stablecoins, just to stay outside of compliance. Yeah.
And when it comes to crypto cards, these are prepaid cards, right?
They're actually credit cards, but they're secured by the stablecoins and crypto that you have on the platform. So, yeah. Yeah. So,
So
but in the future, we expect to offer credit as well.
yeah, because when you say neobank, I mean it definitely puts you. And having said the valuation that you just told me, I mean, it puts you right in the competition with Revolut, Robinhood, and these kinds of applications as
Of
well.
course. Of course.
And it's quite interesting to see that a player from crypto is emerging, and they are trying to, let's say, compete with these guys. I mean, so when it comes to Robinhood or other apps, we are also seeing them that they are in the further in the future. They are also launching these stock products, trading products, right? Does Cast have any kind of those plans as well, other than
Yeah,
banking?
we're building a wealth product now as well, which will be
Come again?
we're building a wealth product through which you could
Okay.
trade tokenized stocks and other things as well. So that's coming as well.
Okay. Now, there is one more debate, Rex, where I wanted to get a piece of your mind. The debate is always around privacy. Now, in the last 4 5 months, if you see, privacy has actually emerged out as a very big use case, and almost all the blockchain networks, whether it is Cardano, I yesterday had a discussion with Litecoin Creator, even they are trying to now provide these privacy features on top of these networks.
Yeah.
If I'm a user of Cast app, what sort of facilities in terms of privacy I can expect from the product?
Yeah, I mean, look, we are looking to integrate more privacy. Obviously, on the blockchain, you don't have so much privacy because everything's on chain.
Yeah.
So we're definitely looking to integrate more privacy, but it's also difficult at times because we're a regulated company and
Mhm.
we have to play carefully with regulators. And so privacy can often fall on the wrong side in terms of also enabling bad actors as well. And so
Mhm.
our first and foremost is to stay regulated and compliant. But of course, we want to give users more privacy as well. And so we can't go to the extent that like a full DeFi,
Mhm.
DeFi decentralized platform can. Obviously they can do sort of very extreme things, but that also means that they're not as usable because you can't. It's very hard to mix that with providing fintech rails, for example, as well.
Mhm. So one of the key debates that we hear when we see anybody trying to use blockchain for, let's say, payments or intercountry interest rate remittances is that what different are they doing? So one of the key things that Cast is doing is, of course, it is leveraging stablecoin rails. Now, if in case, let's say, we were to understand it in layman terms, how does it benefit us over an existing, let's say, banking network like Swift? I mean, if I were to compare what you're building,
Well, I
which is
mean, Swift. I mean, it's you can bring in money through like instant
Mhm.
payment rails, ACH, SEPA in Europe and others, and you get your money on our platform instantly. But when you want to send it across the world, if you go by Swift, it's going to take you between 1 to 3 days, versus near instant with us, right? And so, like
Okay.
on blockchain, if you use Solana or Tron or in one of the L2s, it's near instant and near free. It's just so much
Mhm.
quicker. So I think it's quite obvious. It's just the usability hasn't been great for the average person. So that's what we're trying to fix.
And when I'm creating, so for example, one of the key debates for crypto holders, I mean, the large crypto holders, whether they hold Bitcoin or maybe some other cryptocurrency, one of them is privacy, of course. The other one is always that how much of my detail I will have to share when I actually utilize this application. So right now, I'm guessing that it is an all KYC and compliant environment, or
Yeah.
do we have a certain limit of transactions whereby you need to provide more details?
No, it's 100% KYC platform. Always has been.
Okay, okay. And you
And I
rightly
think that's the
pointed
only
out to one.
that's the only
Uh-huh.
way through which we can offer fintech style services. I mean, otherwise you just have a wallet where you would, do you don't need to do KYC, but you also don't get all the
Mhm.
other services as well that come with it. You don't get virtual accounts, you don't get card, etc.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you make a transaction on today's blockchain, you do expose your wallet, you do expose your all holdings whenever you make a single transaction. Once somebody has your address, they do have everything. So, I mean, of course, you need a third party licensed partner with you who can actually take care of those integrities for you. Now, when it comes to compliance, I wanted to understand from you that where are we licensed today, how are we managing our compliance, and how Kast is a far more trusted platform as compared to, let's say, anybody making a blockchain transaction today, where it seems anonymous, it is not anonymous at all.
Yeah, I mean, we have more than 10 licenses today. We're in the process of acquiring another 30 or 40 licenses at the moment. But yeah, it's no secret that we want to be the most licensed stablecoin company in the world.
Mhm.
Licenses around the world, in the US and Europe and the Middle East and Asia, LATAM. But that's a process that takes some time. I think the trust comes from the fact that we want to be licensed, which means regulators know us. By the fact that we obviously have a lot more funding than a lot of other people as well, and we have scale as well. There's a lot of others who are trying to compete who are smaller or subscale, but I think for us, being able to build something at scale is very important.
So, of course, when we talk about payments, we talk about Visa, we talk about stable coins, we talk about Tether, we talk about. So, we are going to talk about Kast when it comes to a total overall blockchain leveraged banking, I guess, which you're calling neobank.
Yeah.
And in the next five, so what's the ultimate goal for you as a founder, as a CEO of the company? Is it to finally get acquired at a very high valuation, at a very, let's say, good
We're not
valuation?
selling. No.
Okay.
I'm very firm that I won't sell. I've got absolutely zero interest in selling or getting acquired. We think we're a $100 billion plus company, and we're not building for anything less than that. And we have no plans to be acquired anytime in the next decade or anytime soon at all. We just think there's a gigantic opportunity for someone to become extremely big here. I've never sold a single share personally, and I just firmly believe that someone is going to make a $100 billion plus company, potentially even much bigger than that. And that we have a decade of building in front of us, and this is going to be the best decade in which to build something very, very big on stablecoin rails, and so we will not be selling.
Amazing, Rex. The whole purpose of the podcast, we actually used the app, and it was a very good experience for us, even. As I said, I compared it with Revolut. I did compare it with the Coinbase app as well. But to be frank, they both, as I told you, they actually give it in return that it will take 7 days to make a very easy transfer of few bucks, few thousand bucks. But on your app, I have made the transaction is quite smooth. I recommend everybody to give it a try. And I'm sure they all can share the feedback with you guys on the Twitter handles. They can always share. So, Rex, awesome opportunity, and our best of luck to you. We do believe that a crypto native partner comes here and it actually builds something finally which is usable for the global world, not just stable coin or maybe a part of it, but actually a whole experience. And I think, as I said, huge opportunity. So kudos to you, what you're doing, and all the best. And thanks a lot again for coming on the platform and sharing this information with all of us. And we will definitely put out links. We will ask people to kind of try it out, try our app.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I look forward to it. And please go and check out Kast. It's kast.xyz. And also you can find us on X as well as LinkedIn. If you ever see anything that you have feedback, I also have a direct email address, ceo@kast.xyz. You can always contact me. I read those emails every day.
No, I'm sure people will reach out to you because the thing is that there is no one solution right now that is trying to solve problems for crypto people. We do want to make transactions, we do want to do a lot of stuff, but as I said, the issue with blockchain is it seems anonymous, it is not anonymous. So you need a trusted partner, which you rightly said that you're compliant, you're already having so many licenses to actually back that trust. And also somebody who's trying to solve the banking problem as a whole, not just a part of it. So as I said, I personally like the product, and we will kind of reach out to as many as people possible through this podcast. And I'm sure people will come back to you with feedback.
Great. Well, thanks for having me on. And
thanks, Rex. Thanks a lot, and all the best.
Thank you.